Video game news. Clusterfucked media.
It's showtime!
Showtime, CFM Radio. We are live.
Yo, what is up? We are back on another Wednesday for another edition of CFM Radio, video game music and news.
Video game music and news. I am Vector with my awesome DJ as always and wingman Drix. Drix, how's it going?
Dude, been great. Getting a little weather lately over here in the LA, San Diego, West Coast, California area. Might play some rain and or water themed songs tonight. We'll see what is up.
Ooh, sounds good. Hey, you know what? Speaking of that, have you been playing any games that have been where you have been experiencing water action? I've been playing a little bit of Splatoon, so I have to say I've been doing a little bit of splashing. So.
Yeah, no, I've been making a couple rainy drives to go play pinball, but I just got a free trial of Game Pass, so I can know what is up and what is worth checking out on Game Pass. So one of the games I've been playing is Hi-Fi Rush, which is a rhythm action game, you know, so I'm enjoying it a good bit. Yeah, I don't think it'll take the place in my heart for Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, but it's pretty cool, and I'm finally going to start a character in Starfield, see what the hype is with that, and
Sweet.
Also maybe some Palworld. I got a list of things to check out while I still have the free trial, and sink my teeth in a little bit.
Absolutely, man. I love Game Pass. I think Game Pass is interesting. Speaking of Palworld, I've been playing a lot of Palworld. I pretty much, since we talked about it last week, I pretty much have not stopped playing Palworld. I'm on my friend's server, and it's one of my buddies that I play with from Splatoon, and then my friend that I work with and her boyfriend, and we're slowly getting more people into the server. But I gotta tell you, playing a continuous world Palworld is pretty interesting.
What do you mean by continuous? You can just start like servers that people host, right? Like I have a code from a friend whose world I'm trying to join up in, and he's got like 10 times gathering on, so you can get to the fun a little faster, I hope.
Hey, you could definitely, there are the invite codes, and that's what Game Pass uses right now. Game Pass uses the invite codes for the worlds, but on the Steam version, you can kind of play it like how Arc has it, where you have user-run servers, where you could have like 32 people in the server at one time, and, people like, all of your automation just keeps going even when you're offline. So it's pretty fun, and it's pretty interesting. There's a few quirks in Palworld, like to make your guys keep working, you have to balance their hunger and their sanity, and like because if you don't balance it out, they'll start starving, and then if they're either starving or they're slowly going insane, either one of those spirals out of control, and then you come back onto the server and all your pals are starving and depressed, and they're working like shit, and you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I mean, you've seen maybe a couple bugs on how these pals are acting when they should be working?
Yeah, a little bit. It's a little buggy, but for the absolute most part, I'm having fun. The other game I was jumping into a lot was Foam Stars. Foam Stars just released yesterday for PSN, and on PSN for PS4 and PS5 users. It's free. You can check it out, and it's also on PC. So I've been getting into that. I like Foam Stars. It's really fun. Hey, what's up, Game Junction?
Yeah. Hey, Game Junction. Glad you're back. Welcome.
What's up, brother? But yeah, I've been loving me some Foam Stars. It's pretty fun. Been partying bubble style, you know.
Yeah, foaming it up, huh?
I have been. A lot of people say it's like a Splatoon ripoff, and it shares a lot of similarities with Splatoon. Sure, it's got like quick traversal, very quick traversal while on the same terrain as your color team. You could paint the ground like you're seeing on here on screen. It's a shooter, so.
Yes, but you don't necessarily like build the terrain and the map the same way you can kind of customize with your foam and Foam Stars, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, not in Splatoon.
That's the big thing. The big difference between Foam Stars and Splatoon is that, like, as you can see right here, there's like mountains of foam, and you got to shoot through that shit if it's not on your team. So, and it forms like a decent barrier. So when you're on defense in Foam Stars, you could be on defense. When you build a wall, you're like stuffing people who are trying to jump over the wall or trying to flank you from the sides. Like it gets pretty crazy. So I'm having a lot of fun with Foam Stars. I think everybody should check it out. Nice
yeah,
game
why not?
junction,
At the
playing some
free-to-play
Palworld.
price.
But yeah, Palworld,
Yeah.
Foam Stars, Game Pass, and PlayStation Network delivering some pretty good games. Pretty fun, engaging games. At least I think so. Everyone loves Palworld. I think people are sleeping on Foam Stars. I think it's one of those games where once you pick it up and play it, you might actually start liking it. Very easy to jump into, easy to get used to. And I think the main game mode, Smash the Stars, is a little intuitive. So I think people should check it out. Give it a shot. It's free.
Yeah, I mean, come on. You can ride around on a surfboard all over the map.
Yeah, not only do you ride around on the surfboard, that's how you confirm your kills. It's pretty fun.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm definitely a big fan of any game where you can do some sweet tricks or even just carve and jump around in skateboarding fashion or something similar.
Oh, yeah. Because man, this game, it makes the game go really fast. You're moving.
Yeah,
you're
right.
Schmoving.
Just
you're pretty fast.
carving it.
Yeah, you're carving.
You're chasing some tasty barrels.
Absolutely. But so that's what we're going. That's what we've been playing this fateful last week. But as fate would have it, this week has been quite the week in the gaming world. Oh yeah.
Couple of big leaks, some things happening over on X, formerly known as Twitter. Some individuals sharing some information that's getting out to the gaming community, and we're here on CFM Radio to talk to you about it.
Absolutely, and you know what? Before we get into the meat of the Xbox discussion, first of all, I want to say, Game Junction, you and I, we're both on this game grind. We have a lot of games that we're gonna play. I still gotta play me some Persona 3 Reload too. I still gotta start that game. So whew.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely something else to check out if you have Game Pass.
Oh yeah, it's on there. But speaking about Xbox, speaking about Game Pass, before we get into the meat of the Xbox discussion, I want to say up front that any of this is speculation. And its speculation is done with the knowledge that Phil Spencer's big Xbox quote-unquote business update is happening next week. Okay? We don't know. This week on CFM Radio, we're going to be talking about the leaks that have come out so far. But as of now, we know that Phil Spencer is going to make a real announcement next week. We know that certain games are coming to other platforms, big name games. But with that being said, let's just jump into the rumor mill. Drix.
Oh yeah? What's poppin'? What's the word on the streets? We're not Xbox shareholders. We're just a couple of nerds who like talking about video games.
Yeah, and you know what, man? I'll say it up front. Not a big console war guy. It's one of those things where I'm not too heated on anything. My console war ended a long time ago. I was a Sega kid.
Yes, sir. Yep.
My console war ended with the Dreamcast. Ever since then, it was one of those things where it's like, hey, you know what? Games is games. So that's kind of how I look at it. But again, like Drake said, sometimes you're a shareholder, sometimes you're a little bit more invested. Hey, you know what? Sometimes you're just a super fan. You know,
it's fans. They got like a sense of identity, you know? That's how you know you've angered somebody in the comments section when they start really just like mouthing off. It's because, you know, the things they love are a part of their identity and part of their personality. Hopefully there's other aspects, but I mean, you know, when you love something so much, you might obsess over it a little.
Just a little
bit. Keep the new guys out, you know,
just
gatekeep a little. Girl boss, gatekeep, gaslight.
but you know, the genesis of this is prolific game leaker Nate the Hate. Nate the Hate has been around for a long time. My guy is all over the place. He doesn't really talk out of his ass, and most of the time, I shouldn't say most of the time, pretty much bats a thousand. So he yesterday, he came out and he said Starfield is going multi-platform, and so is Hi-Fi Rush, and so are a few more prolific Xbox titles. So, and he followed this up today. You know, now Nate here says that people are blowing his previous report of the select games heading to other platforms out of proportion, and he asserts that it's only select games.
Yeah, got to be real selective, you know, when you're safeguarding your profits or whatever.
The new tweet that he just dropped today reads, quote, "People are making wild assumptions that every game is going multi-plat, which is not the case, nor is MS going to exit the hardware industry. The multi-plat strategy is a slight shift in strategy in which some titles go multi-plat. MS will keep high-profile games exclusive." And he goes on to clarify his thoughts after another user questioned whether or not Starfield is considered a high-profile game with the following tweet. Quote, "Right. I think ABK/Beth stuff will be more open to multi-plat potential versus Xbox Game Studios. XGS, he says it. So, okay. If we're going to take a measured response to this whole thing, right? If we're not gonna freak out with what we're talking about, I don't think
calm and collected.
I don't think this is the end of Microsoft. Honestly,
no. I mean, they make operating systems, this can't be their only outlet.
Even as far as hardware, the more I sit and think about it, I know we like to joke here, ha ha ha. We've been saying they've been looking pretty Sega over the past year, you know what I mean? And we just said we were there for the downfall of Sega. So it's one of those things where I guess you can call Drix and I a little bit more sensitive to the things that are going on, but it's I wouldn't say that Microsoft is in a place to exit right now unless the thing that they wanted to do was focus on cloud gaming as a whole.
Well, I mean, only one way to find out how sustainable that is, I guess.
No, and I agree, but I definitely think that you gotta to make an omelet, you gotta crack a few eggs, right? But
yep.
I think the egg cracking, let's say, so to speak, was them using all this cash to just buy up all these studios. Here's the thing. I don't know whether or not these studios are going to, like, especially something like Activision Blizzard, is going to look the same under the leadership of Microsoft. Like, I don't know if we're going to get, like, another sort of, like a wild new IPs like Overwatch. You know what I mean? Like, or...
Yeah, they're not going to take as many risks. They're going to, like, play it safe.
Not at all.
No.
I think they're really
it doesn't usually make, like, great art. Yeah.
I think they're really looking for the ROI on these acquisitions. And I think maybe not the next maybe not this time, but I think if this next Xbox is not a hit, right? I think that's when they exit. I think that's the white flag. Because come on, dude, you can't come over here and tell me that you buy all these game studios and the biggest ones, Bethesda, huge publishers, Bethesda, Obsidian, Activision Blizzard. You can't tell me you're buying these things for no reason just to back out.
Yeah, no, it can't all just whiff in the last moment. They probably got another console generation in them, you think? Or the current ones, the series consoles.
You know what? You make a good point. We might see another quote unquote series console.
Or at least a toe dipped into the handheld market or something.
Interesting.
Like, you know, if Steam can have a deck, you know, to try to compete with the Switch, and even like Asus can make one, you know, maybe Microsoft will make like a gaming tablet that has a built-in controller and not just a touchscreen or something. So, who knows? Could be $1 million idea. Could be a total flop.
So to be fair, I'll touch base on that right now. Being fair, there is a report going around from an Xbox podcast. I think it's the XNC, the Xbox Insider Newscast or whatever. One of their hosts was talking about a potential next generation Xbox with like, it was kind of crazy, so I didn't want to really bring it up or go into it in too much detail, but he says he has a leaker giving him some information. Again, this is not from anywhere other than the Xbox Newscast. Well, one of their co-hosts has a leaker that he trusts, a quote-unquote reputable source. Next Xbox hardware is
speculation. We're putting our thinking caps on and just thinking about stuff.
He speculates the next hardware jump for Xbox is a double SKU hardware, with one of the SKUs being a traditional game console like an Xbox, and the other one being like a Switch, a dockable portable.
Oh, wow. So a home console and something to take on the go. You have to make two purchases? That'd be interesting. So I'd like to see that.
So that's kind of where I'm at. It's like, right, exactly. Like, so I have to make two purchases, huh? Interesting. I wonder. I don't know if that's going to be it. They're probably going to do what they're doing with this console generation in the Series S and the Series X, because it's one of those things where, you know, you come to find out the Series S is the top seller between the two consoles. The Series X lags behind. And, you know, from the normie point of view, you can kind of see it. It's like, why would I pay $500 for this box that plays the same game? What, it plays them a little better?
Yeah, especially in the console market. Like, they're not going to pay more for 60 FPS or like some fancy technical spec.
Seriously,
you know?
If the PlayStation 5...
The kids just want games.
If the PlayStation 5 is anything to go off of, it is 100% that people do not care about 60 FPS. But they just do not care. Like,
nice.
They do not give a shit. But no, so that's one of those weird rumors that I heard. I don't know how big that is, but what I am interested in is I'm interested in this newscast next week, and I really am interested to see if Xbox kind of drops the ball.
Yeah, I mean, might happen.
Yeah, that's my whole... Because I remember the Xbox One generation pretty well. I remember all the hate they garnered just for their plans of the generation. So, you know, if it's one thing that Xbox isn't really great at, it's PR. So...
Yeah, no. Nerds everywhere.
Yeah, no, it's just not great. But I think I think Xbox will have one Hail Mary console left in them, and I really do think it's like a Hail Mary console. You know, after what Phil is saying on the XCast last year, you know, they lost the console war, blah, 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 yada, yada. Like, you know, waving the white flag around. Like, it is what it is in that. But, you know, after hearing that, especially as someone who bought an Xbox One, I really want to know what these guys got in the tank. And if what they got in the tank is, hey, all your favorite games on every other platform, then I don't give a fuck about Xbox anymore. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, the reason you bought a Sega Genesis or Mega Drive was because Sega did what Nintendo don't.
Yeah.
So, I think that still rings true, even in the modern market.
Yeah.
So, exclusive games, like, what's your console going to do that the other one can't? And yeah, that's the big plan. Multi-platform games. Hopefully they're all in bet on cloud games. Streaming, pays off. Which I don't know. I'm not even after a couple days of Game Pass, I'm not the biggest fan yet. But we'll see.
Yeah.
So we'll stay tuned
see.
to the big news conference next week when old Phil Spence gets on the microphone again, and we'll have some fresh news for next week's show, definitely. But,
absolutely.
Yeah, speculating is fun though.
Hopefully he does it on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday morning, so we could talk about it on the show next week.
Yes, but it's all coming. Good things coming.
Absolutely. Great things coming, like this awesome rockin' track. What are we rocking out to right now, Drix?
Yeah, rainy day theme. Any song from the game Lords of Thunder is bound to kick ass. So this is a song called Aqual.
Aqual, Lords of Thunder.
From the PC engine, TurboGrafx 16.
PC engine, TurboGrafx 16, Lords of Thunder.
CFM Radio.
We'll be back.
Rewind selector. Let's do it.
your Pete's got a long, sharp knife. He starts chopping and don't know when to stop. All you fellas gotta watch your wives, 'cause Pete don't care whose meat he chops.
He keeps hacking and whacking and smacking. He keeps hacking and whacking and smacking. He keeps hacking and whacking and smacking.
Hey, now.
Hack, whack, chopping at me.
Ever since Pete flew into town, he's been having a ball. Just cutting and chopping for miles around. Single women, married women, old maids and all.
Keep hacking and whacking and smacking.
Oh, Pete,
Hacking and whacking
he
and smacking.
loves that meat.
Hacking and whacking and smacking. He just hack, whack, chopping at me.
Wakes up in the morning, 5:30. Chops from sunrise to sunset. I don't see how he stays alive. Meat's gonna be the death of old Pete yet.
He keeps hacking and whacking and smacking. He keeps hacking and whacking and smacking. He keeps hacking and whacking and smacking. He just hack, whack, chopping at me.
The police put Pete in jail. Yes, he finally met his fate. But when they came to pay his bail, they found him chopping on his cellmate.
He keeps hacking and whacking and smacking.
Hey, now.
He keeps hacking and whacking and smacking. Just hack, whack, chopping at me.
That Butcher Pete is the craziest man. Tried to chop down the wind in the rain. Just hacks on anything he can get. Say, turn this record over. You ain't heard nothing yet.
Clusterfuck Media.
CFM Radio. We're back.
Welcome, welcome. We are back. That was from Fallout 3, Butcher Pete, song I've been referring to a lot in my head lately, originally by an artist by the name of Roy Brown.
A classic. Everybody who's played Fallout 3 loves Butcher Pete going around killing everybody in the wasteland to the smooth, loungy sounds.
Nobody's safe.
The swinging jazz.
Absolutely. And, you know, we were just talking a lot about Microsoft and about all of their crazy games, and we were just talking about how I love Palworld so much, but Drix, would you believe if I told you that Helldivers 2 coming out soon for the PlayStation 5 and the PC? We'll get to that in our new releases for more information. But did you know that Helldivers 2 just might be bigger than Palworld?
Yo, I would have to ask, who says this? That's kind of crazy. Palworld has been absolutely breaking some records, and I can't wait to check it out. But we're gonna ask for some sources on this as the game journalists that we like to try to be.
Well, a report from Push Square, those guys, they note that it is currently at the top of the results for pre-orders on the PlayStation Store when sorting by best-selling. And they also go on to say that the, quote, PC version of Helldivers 2 is among the best-selling games on Steam right now. At the time of writing, globally, it's in 6th place, and in the UK and US, it's currently in 3rd, placing just above the explosively popular Palworld. In terms of pre-purchases, the game is numero uno. Can you believe that?
Yeah. Pre-orders don't lie. I mean, unless you're riding, at least a year-long hype train into the release of a game, pre-orders kind of feel like things of the past without, a physical release and stuff.
Very true.
That is insane. That is absolutely the best metric to use when preemptively comparing your release to something that's already out. So wow, kudos. They did open up the PlayStation State of Play with a Helldivers 2 trailer. So
Very true.
Wonder what happened with Helldivers 1.
It's a very different game, let me tell you. But Yonder makes a really good point about Yonder51 in the chat makes a really good point about what we just heard. The track Butcher Pete. Turn this record over, you ain't heard nothing yet. The like and subscribe of back then. And hey, you know what? Thank you for reminding everybody to like and subscribe right now on CFM Radio.
Thanks, bud. Yeah, absolutely. Glad you're sticking around and checking us out.
And hey, it might be kind of crazy to hear that Helldivers 2 is placing higher than Palworld on the Steam as far as the hype train, I guess, pre-orders, right? But we'll see when the rubber hits the road about how many active players. Yeah,
I mean, do they do the same thing that like record labels do and just purchase their own product and then boost those numbers? Just a self-feeding snake.
That your game studio would need to have a lot of people buying your game and playing it all at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna get every employee to buy the game.
Those active user rates on Steam. So they're probably not going to end up doing that. But like I said, we'll see when that rubber hits the road, see just how many active users. And we're gonna jump into the new releases here in just a minute. But Drix, I gotta stop for a minute and admire this dreamy, ethereal pixel number you got going on in the back. What is this?
Oh man, I am not the biggest fan of the Smurfs, but I heard this track and I had to grab it. This is from Smurfs Nightmare for the Game Boy Color. This is level 4, Mysterious Planets.
Wow, Smurfs Nightmare for the Game Boy. You heard it here first.
CFM Radio.
We'll be right back.
I wanna fly sky high. Let's go together. I wanna fly sky high. Let's go together. I wanna.
CFM Radio, we are back.
Yo, yo. That was a song called Sky High from Daytona, USA. Playing right now, we got a song from Ridge Racers on the PSP called Light Groove. It is indeed very groovy.
It is indeed very groovy. It's just a light groove, though, not a heavy groove.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Might even be in 5/8 or some other time signature. Not your usual 4 to the floor. Got a little more Latin flair than that.
We got some new releases this week.
Of course. Let's get into it. Good
Let's
stuff
get
is coming.
right into it. First of all, we've got, as we were talking about, Helldivers 2. Helldivers 2 is, we just talked about it a minute ago, like I said, but it's available tomorrow, coming out Thursday, February 8th, from the PlayStation Store. Quote, Join forces with up to 3 friends and wreak havoc on an alien scourge threatening the safety of your home planet, Super Earth, in this multiplayer co-op shooter for the PS5 and PC from Arrowhead Game Studios. Step into the boots of the Helldivers, an elite class of soldiers whose mission is to spread peace and liberty and manage democracy using the biggest, baddest, and most explosive tools in the galaxy. Drix, as I was telling you before, the first Helldivers game is a very different beast from this game. The first Helldivers game is like a top-down, isometric, like twin-stick shooter.
Well then,
Where
that's quite a departure.
Yeah, like it's I'll give it to him. The aesthetic is the same. Like this is what you're seeing in the trailer. Absolutely has the same feel as the first game, but it plays absolutely nothing like this. Like there was no third-person shooting. There was squad-based combat, but there wasn't any like mechs. You know, like it was like twin stick, enemy horde, back-to-back, move and shoot, squad-based shooter. So it was very different. So I'm interested to see what Arrowhead Studios does with this one, because like you were saying, very new kind of game for what they've done before.
Yeah, the first edition kind of seems like something you'd want to play with one of your older relatives who's used to like side-scrolling and things like that. But some people they get a little dizzy doing some first-person shooting. So this will definitely be something. Well, this one's third-person, it looks like, but something for fans of third-person shooters to enjoy and check out.
Yeah, checking out.
Somebody in the marketing department was pretty hoorah and Semper Fi on that quote though, and that little bit of copy there. They're like, "Come on, suit up."
Yeah, it's very Starship Troopers in its aesthetic.
Yeah, you can see that in the trailer for sure.
But anyway, that's Helldivers 2. Like I said, coming out tomorrow, February 8th, for PS5 and PC. Next up, we have RE4 Gold.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
Resident Evil 4 Gold Edition.
When day breaks,
Now,
yep. Is it time for the new console generation to have its own copy of Resident Evil 4?
Resident Evil 4. Well, it already did. Last year we got Resident Evil 4 remake. Now we're getting Resident Evil 4 Remake Gold Edition from the YouTube announcement trailer. Whoa. Enjoy Resident Evil 4 to its fullest with the base game, Separate Ways Story DLC, and an extra DLC pack with Resident Evil 4 Gold Edition. This the action-packed Mercenaries mode is also available as free DLC. Now, RE4 Gold Edition releases this Friday, February 9th for the PS4, PS5, Xbox Series consoles, and PC. But Drix, I gotta say, people like to jump on games like The Last of Us 2 for remaking themselves like 4 or 5 times in a really rapid succession. Listen, we just got this game last year.
I'm gonna get you home safe.
Yeah, I mean, it's more of a, maybe not game of the year, but complete edition. I mean, for somebody who waited to pick this up or check this out like me, it's cool. I'll just pick up the better one.
Right. Hey, what were we saying about Capcom last year during the that 3-year plan, right?
Yeah, 3-year plan. Don't worry. It's not too late to buy this game. You can get it 3 years later.
3 years later, and it'll be just as good. We care about the game as long as it's relevant. That's what
now
Capcom
with more
said.
residents and more evil.
Yes. Also featuring Ada Wong.
Yeah.
And who
Very
doesn't
nice.
love her? As you can... all right. RE4 Gold Edition releases, like I said, Friday, February 9th, PS4, PS5, Xbox Series consoles, and PC. Now, I want to ask everybody one question, including you, Drix. Are you ready to play as Elsa and Jafar in Fortnite?
I don't think anything could prepare me to play Fortnite. But yeah, I mean, just looking at the Smash Ultimate roster nowadays, Stranger Things have already happened. So this doesn't seem too out of the question. But wow, what has leaked now?
Hey, you know what? I don't think it's a big time leak, but we're going to talk more about it after we're done jamming to this groove. So what are we jamming to, Drake?
We are coming out of a song called Insanely Fast from Tetris Flash. Let me pull up again. Here we go.
Tetris Flash, flashing to you here.
CFM Radio.
We'll be back.
CFM Radio.
CFM Radio, we are back.
That song was called It Doesn't Really Matter by one of our favorite all-time Sega composers, Richard Jacques, from the Metropolis Street Racer soundtrack for the Sega Dreamcast.
Sega Dreamcast racing game classic. Well, I don't know if it's much of a classic. It's an alright game, but got a banger soundtrack. Now,
Absolutely.
Before the break, we were talking about, Disney and Epicgames just penned a big new deal. So here we go. We're going to tell you about that right now from the WaltDisneyCompany.com. The headline is, quote, Disney and Epic Games to create expansive and open games and entertainment universe connected to Fortnite. From the article, quote, our exciting new relationship with Epic Games will bring together Disney's beloved brands and franchises with the hugely popular Fortnite in a transformational new games and entertainment universe, said Robert A. Iger, CEO of the Walt Disney Company. This quote, this marks the biggest entry ever into the world of video games and offers significant opportunities for growth and expansion. We can't wait for fans to experience the Disney stories and worlds they love in groundbreaking new ways. Drix, are you ready?
You know, nothing could have prepared me for this. If you would have told me even like 5 years ago that Disney was gonna, dip their hands into Fortnite, I would have laughed. Even not that long ago, even like last year, if you told me that. But once again, look at the Smash Ultimate roster. Look at how many people showed up in there.
Everyone is
Crazier
here.
Crazier things have happened. If you told me one day that like Mario was gonna fight Cloud and Sora and Sephiroth, and I would have just laughed in your face and called you crazy and said, no, your dad doesn't work at Nintendo, except in this instance, your dad doesn't work at Disney.
It's kind of wild to me because from this article here, they also say that Disney will invest $1.5 billion to acquire an equity stake in Epic Games alongside the multi-year project. So, for a lot of people, you might think Epic Games, right? Like they are like in bed with Tencent. They're in bed with like Chinese gaming corporations. They'll take money from anybody, right? Here comes Disney. They got a whole stake in it.
Yeah. Who among us would say no to a Disney amount of money?
Yeah.
And I mean, classic characters coming to your franchise. I'm sure this is going to pay off for them.
Oh.
But, at what age group is the real question?
Oh, well.
Could be any. Could be Disney
I was
adults.
going to say, Disney adults exist, so it could be any.
Yeah.
And, the article continues. Quote, Disney's games business continues to deliver strong results since it shifted to a licensing business model in 2016. Disney is a leading games licensor, working with best-in-class developers and publishers, including on the best-selling superhero game of all time, Marvel's Spider-Man. Licensed games from Disney garnered more than 150 award nominations, wins, and other accolades in 2023, including multiple Game of the Year nominations for Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Disney mobile games have a 1.5 billion global installs, and to date, 9 Disney game franchises have each grossed more than $1 billion in sales. In the US, the world's largest game market, licensed titles from Disney regularly hit the annual top 10 bestsellers list. So, it's like you were saying, Drix, this deal is going to pay dividends for these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Almost in any age group, really.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. Who would have seen this coming until they posted an article? Like, if it wasn't coming straight from the WaltDisneyCompany.com, I would say your dad does not work at Disney. Your uncle does not work there.
Yeah, no, 100%. This is kind of it's pretty unprecedented, especially coming hot off the heels of Epic going through a lot of troubles in the last year. Them saying, we spent all this cash on the Epic Games Store to give people free games and didn't really give you a return. Didn't really give them, I should say, a return.
Yeah.
You know, they lost a lot in that sequence of trying to just deliver a bunch of games for pretty much nothing to compete with Steam, try to pull people away from Steam. I don't know if that was ever a reality.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, I don't know if that was ever a real thing that was going to happen. But I will say that now that they've got Disney money, I'm sure that we can expect some way bigger things from Epic Games. And you know what, man? This could mean a lot of different things. It could even mean Epic Games going out and having other studios make Disney games using the Unreal Engine, right?
Huh.
Like,
yeah, absolutely.
There's a lot that can be happening here. Like, and to be honest with you, I'm pretty excited. I'm not the biggest Disney fan. Like, I'm really no Disney stan, dude. Like, I'm really, really no Disney stan. But
you might not find that here on CFM Radio.
Yeah, definitely not. But this is an exciting prospect. It's an exciting prospect because this could mean a lot of... Listen, again, not a Disney stan, but Disney has a lot more properties than just, like, fucking Marvel and Mickey Mouse, right? Like, there's a lot of latent cool things. There could be, you know, this could mean more Nightmare Before Christmas stuff. This can mean more Lilo and Stitch kind of stuff. This can be more
or anything...
the Black Cauldron, you know, like...
Yeah. Or anything from the Fox catalog, you know? Marge Simpson is a Disney princess now.
You're right.
And so is the queen symbiote from Aliens. Or no, not symbiote. Xenomorph.
Yeah, Queen Xenomorph. Yeah, she's a Disney princess. Like,
she's a Disney princess now.
Yep. A lot of franchises that you might not think Disney has a lot of involvement in, they own it outright. So, you know, there's a lot of wiggle room here. It would be really cool to have like a new alien game spearheaded by Epic Games. You know, they're the guys, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to shooters, like.
Yeah, I'll laugh if I see any new Disney pinball games coming out. I don't think they've made one since like Toy Story 4.
Wow,
and even then, it wasn't made by the big company Stern. It was by like Jersey Jack or some other smaller name pinball company that hasn't been around as long. But yeah, that would bring me a mighty chuckle if any of those franchises, not just Disney or Marvel. Of course, there's Marvel pinball games, but it's like a new Simpsons one or like a new Alien one.
Wow, that would be wild. That would
lesser
be wild.
known properties.
That'd be wild to see a brand new Simpsons pinball game. Holy shit! Like,
yep, it's been years.
Yeah, it's been years. Anyway, even though it's been years since a new Simpsons pinball game, you won't need to wait years for a new CFM Radio because we will be back here next week, same time, same place, YouTube jamming, bringing out the best grooves for you, jamming out crazy news. We've got a lot to look forward to next week. Xbox, the final word. All these new games coming out. How exactly is RE4 Gold? You know, like we'll see what's going on with all of this crazy stuff. Helldivers 2, is it really going to make that big of a splash?
Yes. Are they bots or are they actual players who will be playing on the day of the release? Like, we don't know, but the pre-sales don't lie. So let's see if the active users show up in the right fashion.
Exactly. That's exactly how I see it too, Drix. But anyway, thanks everybody for hanging out with us here, CFM Radio. Remember, turn that record over. You ain't heard nothing yet. Like and subscribe.
Yes.
Jay Cocoon is this Tuesday. CFM RPG Theater over on Twitch. Twitch.tv/CFM on Twitch. Over there, we're going to be starting a brand new RPG Theater playthrough of Jade Cocoon, the Studio Ghibli PS1 monster collecting RPG. You don't want to miss it.
Yeah, it's going to be a grind for the ages.
God, hopefully not. Hopefully I still know all my old tricks. Other than that, Check us out on Instagram. Check us out on TikTok. Check us out on Facebook. We post all of our latest news updates on Facebook. So check out Facebook. Follow us on Twitch. And other than that, Drix, anything we're missing?
Oh man, I'm just excited to see what happens in the next week. We'll get some new reels cut up, catching up on some new release stuff from January, and yeah, stay tuned to the socials and keep chatting over there too. Thanks for stopping by, Yonder51 and Game Junction, friends of the stream, friends of the show. We appreciate you guys for sticking around and tuning in, and we'll see you on the net until next week.
Until next week.
Triumph or die!
CFM